Babies are born with a piece of cartilage that will eventually become a bony kneecap or patella. Cartilage, which can be found in the nose, ears, and joints, is flexible and gives structure where it's needed in the body. Most children's kneecaps began to ossify, that is, turn from cartilage into bone, between the ages of 2 and 6. Often, several pieces of cartilage will begin to harden into bone at the same time until the kneecap is one complete bone by the age of about 10 or 12. Being born with kneecaps could actually make the birthing process more difficult or could even result in birth injuries because bone is rigid and less flexible than cartilage. Isn't the human body smart? Space booze. Drifting 10,000 light-years from Earth in a constellation far, far away is a massive cloud of alcohol. The cloud, which was discovered in 1995 near the constellation Aquila, is 1,000 times larger than the diameter of our solar system. What's more, it contains enough ethyl alcohol to fill 400 trillion pints of beer. Anyone got a rocket I can borrow? Sadly, the cloud is 58 quadrillion miles away, so an interstellar pub crawl is probably off the cards. What's more, it contains a cocktail of 32 compounds, and some, like carbon monoxide, hydrogen cyanide, and ammonia, aren't so desirable. Another alcohol cloud, called Sagittarius B2, also holds 10 billion liters of mostly methanol alcohol, which is used in antifreeze and windshield wiper fluid. But how did this cosmic hooch get up there? Well, if the conditions are just right, simple alcohol compounds can form completely naturally in space, often on the surface of bits of floating space dust. As this dust moves within the high-energy vicinity of celestial bodies, like stars, the alcohol is forced to separate from the dust, forming massive alcohol clouds, which then float off, presumably to get some aliens very drunk. I wonder if space booze goes well with moon cheese. Use your head. How many times have you parked your car in a parking lot and walked away? Giggling rodents. Rats aren't the most conventionally cute animals, but their reputation as disgusting vermin seems a little harsh, especially when you learn that they're ticklish. A study conducted in 2016 was able to pinpoint the tickle center of the mammalian brain, showing for the first time that stimulating neurons in that particular region can elicit a series of ultrasonic squeaks that are too high to be heard by human ears. She may only to realize you forgot to lock it. Instead of retracing your steps towards the car until it's in range, there's one simple way to reach your car from further away. Hold the metal key part of your key fob against your chin, then press the lock button. You might look slightly weird while doing it, but you'll be grateful when it saves you a few extra steps. The trick works by turning your head into an antenna, according to Silicon Valley radio engineer Tim Pozar. With all the fluids in your head and the electrical currents flowing in your body, your noggin ends up being a pretty decent conductor. It won't work across great distances, but using your head can actually extend the key's wireless range by a few car lengths. Battery hack. Most modern smartphones are supposed to have a great battery life, but it seems to me like they're always dying when you need them the most. Thankfully, there's one super simple way you can make the most out of your remaining juice. If, like most people, you carry your smartphone around in your pocket, then part of the problem might be that your pocket is too warm. You see, cell phone batteries do actually last a bit longer if they're kept cool. The average 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit body heat of a human being when transmitted through a cloth pocket to a cell phone inside is enough to speed up chemical processes inside the phone's battery. As a result, it runs down at a faster rate. The simplest way to keep your phone cooler is to carry it inside your bag or on a belt clip instead. And if you ever find yourself away from home without a charger, you can switch off your phone and pop it in the refrigerator to slow the battery losing charge. I don't recommend using the freezer though. Surprising salmon. Salmon is one of the most popular seafoods in the world, but if you've ever prepared the fish yourself, then you'll have probably run into the issue of that white, funky stuff that seems to appear when you cook it. Most people assume it's just fat, but the white gunk you see oozing from your dinner is actually a simple protein called albumin. Whether boiled, baked, fried, or barbecued, the substance will still appear. Albumin lives in fish in liquid form and appears when the muscle fibers are heated and they contract, pushing out the white-colored protein. Although it's totally safe to eat, some people find it unsightly. To try and remove albumin, you can either blot the cooked fish with a paper towel or brine it before cooking. To brine your fish, just give it a quick soak in a blend of sea salt and water, which should help to relax and dissolve the muscle fibers and minimize the appearance of albumin. Kei Ishiyama, a neuroscientist at the Humboldt University of Berlin, noted that the rats not only return over and over again to the place where they were tickled, but that tickling their bellies also triggers the neurotransmitter dopamine in the key reward-related brain circuits in the rodents. If that wasn't enough to prove that they love being tickled, rats also show a classic display of positive emotion found in many species, such as dogs, foxes, and even human children, called joy jumps. True to their name, this involves leaping into the air with both legs together. Talk about a cuteness overload! Disappearing socks. During a clothes wash, socks seem to creep into the yawning abysses of the laundry drum, never to be seen again. But where do they really go? There are actually a couple of explanations for their mysterious disappearance. If you have a top loader machine, a sock could sneak into the crevice between the inner and outer drums, then get snagged in the water drain or pump as a result of overloading the appliance. It's also possible for a sock to get stuck underneath the spinning agitator. For front-loading washers, though, a rogue sock might get lodged just underneath the rubber water seal, known as the gasket. And if you pull this part back, you could find a goldmine of lost socks. Even if socks do make it to the dry cycle, they can be easily victimized by static electricity and get stuck to the inside of pant legs or other materials during the folding process. In short, no, there isn't a sock-eating monster in your washing machine. Waterfall wonders. Niagara Falls is pretty big, but it's far from the biggest waterfall known to man. Some claim Angel Falls in Venezuela is the world's tallest, with a staggering height of 3,212 feet and a plunge of 2,648 feet. But that doesn't even come close to the truth. The Denmark Strait is more than 3 times the height of Angel Falls, and it can be found in the ocean. That's right. This mammoth waterfall, located near the southern tip of Greenland, begins 2,000 feet under the ocean surface and plunges to a depth of 10,000 feet, a nearly 2-mile drop. What's more, the Denmark Strait carries an estimated 123 million cubic feet of water per second. That's equivalent to almost 2,000 Niagara Falls at peak flow. But how can a waterfall happen underwater? Simply put, cold water is denser than warm water. In the Denmark Strait,